So that I like it more than the other suggested heroes, again, just because I felt like you would have had too strong of a focus on magic damage, and I think Flat Cannon is your only physical damage. Real physical damage is a bit limited. So I think this is okay for TNC, but I think VGJ.Thunder did a much better job drafting for themselves, and I'm a lot more even when it comes to this matchup in game 2.
Okay, did you see at the end there, instead of Armel on the OD, it was actually Raven?
Yeah, because they have to have Armel mid as the Priestess of the Moon.
Okay.
So.
All right, Jack, we'll start with you. Predictions, which way?
I think this one's a little bit closer. I tend to think this is going to go to a 3-game series. Thunder if they're back against the wall. So my prediction, which I don't need to say, I guess I can just hold this up.
You could do that. Yeah, you could do that too.
Going with VGJ.
Abusing your manager privileges here, Jack.
Unbelievable. I was going to ask you, Cap, if you've got any shirts underneath the desk that you want to show off.
TNC, you want to hook me up? No, actually, despite not having a jersey to show off, I'm going to go VGJ as well.
Okay, all right, good stuff. Well, both of our panel members were correct in game number 1. Are they going to be correct in game number 2? Let's find out as we head over to our commentary team of Morton Brax.
The experimental nature of their first draft, Brax, and it seems this draft a bit better for VGJ.Thunder, all really well-rounded here.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm curious to see how they will shape up their lanes because they have some fantastic lane counter matchups. Should be good.
Yes, so VGJ.Thunder look a lot better in this match. They had a pretty rough start. We'll get into the draft, or rather get into the game, I would say. And they will start things off by smoking and just trying to get aggressive in the early stages of this game. And so maybe they can find a fight against TNC. But we will jump into it once it's ready. Got a lot of good luck half funds coming out. But finally getting into it now. The immediate smoke, they're getting close to finding somebody for VGJ.Thunder for Yang. And they're going to break the smoke, but Armel is the one being pinned. Can they find this target? He's going to walk right uphill here. They have the telekinesis. They will use the lift there. The gush comes out. The leap away, that double leap away comes in. The ice shards. That might be enough to kill one more auto tech. This Gucci from Siler will do the job. He'll take a couple of tower hits, but that is fine. Getting that kill, dropping down Armel. Good start for VGJ.Thunder at the start of this game, Brax.
Yep, fantastic pick for VGJ.Thunder. Mirana has to skill the leap. Now the leaps are also on cooldown, so they'll take forever to recharge. And Shadow Fiend versus Mirana is a matchup that Mirana needs help with a lot early on. If you can become dominant early on, get early, phase boots, Ring of Achilles, some sort of damage, you can stay, pretty competitive with the Shadow Fiend in terms of last hits, but it gets really hard later on.
We've seen this duel lane before between Tims and Sam H. So in spite of the Mirana needing help like Armel did in the first game, they're going to get a lot of pressure as already shown against Fade. Ghoul Ice Shards is way to safety potentially. They're going to get their runes. They have another 4th Sticky Napalm stacking up, but now that Sylar is here, Tims will back himself up. I mean, I guess you don't fix what ain't broke here, Brax, for this this aggressive duel lane in the top lane.
Yeah, first 3 same picks coming out for TNC, not changing it up really. But so they picked this OD up against the Tidehunter. I thought that they would actually move their lanes up so that the OD would not have a good matchup, so you'd have to play up against a potential Weaver dual or tri-lane. Because then, what does he do? Does he need help from his supports to get his experience leached, or do they dodge by themselves? And then also, Tidehunter against Batrider is totally fine for the Tidehunter as well, but I guess this way, Weaver against Bat, probably his hardest lane matchup in the game. Weaver also builds into that natural Lincoln sphere. So.
Wow. Yang actually almost died to that Raven OD as well as the Disruptor.
Yep, just the damage.
I mean, yeah, this is a matchup that's going to be pretty hard for him later into the game. The Arcane Orbs will start stacking up even with Astral there. He's gonna come right back to the tower he's south if he's got some wands to work with, but he's gonna get zoned out just by Cuckoo, who's already level 2 on this Disruptor. So even leeching the experience, he's able to get the extra lane level advantage.
Well, that's the effect of having to skill Gush for that first blood.
Yeah.
Right?
And what are you supposed to do? You can't really walk up and anchor smash, get some CS. Even if you could, you're still gonna take some hits from the OD.
Yep, he needs some levels so he can actually survive that, but well, pretty dangerous for Fade. We see this every game from Fade, pretty much, right?
Except for the last game, though. He was in the top lane for the last game.
Right, but it's still like, we used to see the 4 position more as that roamer, and they would rely on the bounty runes for experience. Now it's a bit more about the duel lane.
Yeah.
Right, we see 2-2-1 almost all the time nowadays.
So instead of having to sit with a Tiny like he did in the first game, now he just sits with the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend will get off to a good start, and Armel will just have to sit back and just find whatever CS he can. He's actually doing an okay job of it, too. 6 last hits for now.
Yeah, he's doing well.
The 8 last hits of freeze on the Shadow Fiend up to 12 Necromastery stacks. But again, this top lane is where maybe the issues will arise for VGJ. They have Sylar, who has Shikuchi to work with. He has 17 wand charges already on Sylar, so the threat of him dying probably not very high.
Yeah.
Since under the tower or something.
Batrider just does not kill Weaver, like in 90% cases. It's so difficult to lock him down long enough. So TNC are going to have to find a different lane to pressure. Perhaps the mid lane with the Mirana, Sanking Mirana up against the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
Could be very dangerous.
I'm curious when Tim's will start rotating, if he does. He has the win lanes. Maybe when he gets boots, we might see something. But for now, it's just the Mirana on her own. Yang's still getting zoned out. He is up to level 3 now, though, so he's starting to get some experience for himself. Only 4 last hits, but not doing poorly. So he will continue to have a tough time as the Arcane Orb levels come in from TNC's Outworld Devour. But they haven't skilled it up yet. He's just getting through. He finally gets that point, and this is where it gets a lot harder for Yang as the Arcane will stack up for Raven.
Yep, once the orbs come up, he's already such low mana.
Yeah, this is where the Aquila build would come in favorably.
Yep, at least he can get those free stick charges from Tidehunter when he anchor smashes the last hit. That helps a lot.
So, for Yang, the aggressive dual lane not doing as much. It's interesting to see how different this lane is, in spite of it being the same exact opener, the same exact 2 heroes. Things slowing down 3.5 minutes into the game. DVC on his favorite Rubik, just trying to get some Fade Bolt damage in, and he will.
I guess I'm wondering when TNC are going to make that decision to rotate into the mid lane. Mirana against Shadow Fiend. Mirana has a lot of kill pressure over the Shadow Fiend, especially with ganks. But if it's just a pure farming matchup, it's not good for Mirana at all, just because of the pure damage difference. But they've got some heroes that'll help kill. I guess nighttime is usually pretty key. Right, once it hits at nighttime, Fan King's level 2 or 3.
Burrow strike into arrow with the Starstorm.
Yep, then it's easier to make some of these plays happen.
And we'll see if Fade will stay there when it does hit night. But for now, they will just try to get some runes.
Oh, regen rune up top.
Yeah, they're going to find it. Tim's is going to try to get there. He's got Burrow. Snowball might come out, and he's just going to grab it. No Shadow Fiend regen. The arrow will miss. The Burrow Strike didn't come out in time for Fade, for Tim's rather, onto Fade, who will get Burrow Strike finally. He has the Snowball and the Ice Shards. He's getting low. Armel might just get this kill. Shadow Fiend is going to come over. Tim's is just going to claw freeze down a little bit. Armel is salving up. He's got an arrow in 3 seconds. They've got the Burrow Strike as well. Is it going to be a time they leap forward the Starstorm? The Fairy Fire, the double tick. Is it going to be enough? It will not. Sylar rotates him with the Shikuchi. Now looking for Armel, who has another leap available. The Snowball coming in. He's going to hold on to it. He will finally use it. The Ice Shards coming in. They will dive this one more auto tech. The Fairy Fire does not keep him alive. And Sylar gets a double kill. What a rotation from the safe laner of VGJ.Thunder, finding a kill or 2 in that mid lane.
Very unusual to see the carry TPing in at 4.5 minutes, but it was extremely needed. It was a very nice play. Something you definitely don't see every day. Weaver is the perfect hero for that, to turn some of these engagements.
And it's not like they let Sam H get more farm or anything like that, because he came to the mid lane as well with the Batrider, so he doesn't get any extra experience or farm because of the Weaver leaving. $27 last hits, though, for this Outworld Devour. That's the change-off. Sylar gets a double kill, which keeps his net worth fine up there, but he's still farming freely, however, not for long. As the Snowball comes in, he will Astro himself down to the bottom lane. Yang is level 5. He's got the Anchor Smashing Gush ready, taking a lot of damage. They've got the Glimpse back, but Kinetic Field might keep him alive. He gets the Wand off. Fade gets through, but he doesn't have enough. The cooldown was still going for the Ice Shard, so he couldn't find the kill. Yang kind of thinking about diving behind the tower, but they're both really low.
They're so low.
TP. The Gush comes in. They need the Anchor Smash, and that will secure the kill for Yang. The creep wave being pulled under the tower by Cuckoo actually secures them the kill for VGJ.Thunder.
Very well played from VGJ, being able to pressure this lane that's supposed to, in theory, counter the Tidehunter. That's a huge deal when your counter lane doesn't go right.
So that is a couple of kills for VGJ.Thunder. They are now getting off to a much better start than in the first game. The net worth is about even. Yang's almost going to be up to his level 6 in a moment, getting more room for the Shadow Fiend. They have the top 3 net worth heroes in the game. This is a great start for VGJ.Thunder, Brex.
Yep, they're doing very well, and the most dangerous lane for them is this mid lane for Freeze on a Shadow Fiend. It is very difficult when heroes start to rotate, and now it's about that time of the game where you might want to have to expect this smoking, Sand King coming in by himself to look for some kills, but he's doing very well. It's very stable. No threat of dying. He's playing it extremely careful, just backing off to the jungle every now and then. So as long as they don't die there, I mean, there are really no openings for TNC.
Yeah, they can just sit back and get more farm for TNC, but they won't be able to play that aggressive play style, potentially, that we saw out of the last game. That seems to be TNC's MO, just kind of running at the enemy team in the early stages of the game, but not really happening this game, and you talked about why.
Yeah, and so much of it comes down to the basic late setup, right? You have Bat Rider Stankin, we saw in the last game, was able to, oh, all right.
Sylar's fine. He was able to get just away. Now Tim's actually might be dead. Shikuchi and a couple of auto attacks, but not enough attack speed to get the kill, and we'll slow down the... We'll come in down bottom, though. You're looking for Yang. Yang still has his Ravage. You have the Flame Break to push Fade back. No Snowball for about 6 seconds. The Firefly burning him down. Cuckoo gets the glimpse onto the Tidehunter as well. We'll try for the TP. Raven another ask for the arrow does hit. TNC will find 2 quick kills, and they get the last off as well. DDC in trouble. The Firefly burning him down. He sticks up. The Telekinesis will not keep him alive, and that's 3 kills for TNC as they rotate a lot of these heroes down to the bottom lane.
Alrighty.
That was an 1,000 gold swing. 800 gold going their way. 200 lost by VGJ.Thunder.
Yeah, OD apparently pretty hard to kill when he asters himself and TP reinforcements come in.
Yeah, especially under the tower. I hear that's pretty tough.
Yeah, yeah.
Breeze is going to turn onto Cuckoo, though. He gets off the raises. He gets off plenty of auto attack damage. The gank of the Shadow Fiend is not successful. Samich was rotating over as well. He'll find himself an Illusion Rune. But the Shadow Fiend is still farming well. So is Sylar. He might get this kill onto Tim's with one more auto attack. The Gemini comes in, and that is going to be a dominating spree for Sylar on this Weaver.
4-0 on Sylar's safe lane Weaver already. Look at his net worth. It's already miles above everyone else. And there's no hero that can actually lane in front of him. Eventually that tower's going to dive. He can dive any hero that comes up there. It's a complete dead area that TNC can't farm at all.
A massively better game for Sylar than on his Tiny in the previous one. Quite the start, 4,000 net worth, 1,000 ahead of the next closest person. Even on his team, the Shadow Fiend's still about 1,200 behind him. And Sylar is starting to get some excellent farm to work with. He's going to go for the early Diffusal Blade, which you see a lot of Weavers go for. At some point, though, you would have to expect him to build a Lincoln Sphere later on to the game against the Bat Rider.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Even BKB looks pretty good in this game up against Disruptor and Sand of course, in OD.
There's so much magic damage. The pipe is going to be critical for this Tidehunter.
Yeah, it is for sure. Almost all the damage on TNC's lineup is magic, except for the, you got pure damage from OD.
You would expect the Tide to be building into a pipe, but he's going to go for the Medallion first. Maybe afterwards he will go for that choice.
Okay. Still looks good.
They have a smoke for VGJ.Thunder. They're looking for a fight in the bottom lane. Freeze is even rotated. Level 3 Necromastery, level 4 raises. No Requiem available, but they want to try to find something. Cuckoo trying to get some vision down. That's not the pick they were looking for. They're going to D-ward, actually. Cuckoo will get a nice C-ward in the process, but VGJ.Thunder, they haven't found anything in this bottom lane. They're playing too close to the tower, and Sam H is just in the trees. They have no idea where this Bat Rider is right now.
Yep, and with that Observer Ward, they see the heroes on VGJ.Thunder backing up. Interesting to bring the Shadow Fiend, of course, if you can make something happen. He does a ridiculous amount of damage at this stage of the game with the level 4 raises. It also opens up the mid lane for Tusk to get some experience.
Yeah, he's getting close to his 6. He's not quite there yet. He's like halfway, but now we'll find it in Invis Rune. If they can get one kill or just a little bit more experience, they can maybe get a gank going for Fade. But Fade has not been latched down like he had been in the previous game. He's been roaming around. He's been bottom. He's been mid.
Yep. All this magic damage from TNC's lineup, while you do hit a very strong mid-game power spike. Up against BKBs, you lose so much of the damage. And that could be a bit worrisome, especially up against the hero like Shadow Fiend and the Tidehunter, who would naturally build into that Pipe of Insight, even the Weaver with the Lincolns that'll probably come out.
And you're building into more magic damage for TNC. They have Armel going into the Aghanim's
build. Okay, the Aghanim Scepter. I wasn't sure if he was going to go for a more right-click build or go for the Spellcaster build, but...
We've only seen a handful of Mirana games in this tournament, but it feels like they've all been Aghanim's games.
Yep, it's all been about the Aghanims.
We've gone back full circle. We're back. So he'll take some time to get there. He has Phase, he has the Aquila, he has the Bottle, and a wand to work with for Armel. VGJ.Thunder, in the meantime, trying to put some pressure, get some vision on the top lane. They're going to try to take this Tier 1 tower down. They've rotated 4 heroes. This thing will fall. They have a Siege Creep along with Sylar
and
Freeze.
Free money.
It's just too much damage. They can't contest this. This is an easy tower kill for VGJ.Thunder. Nice bit of map control as TNC will smoke up in the mid lane. They'll try to find something. They don't want to get the kill on the Tidehunter. They want to go elsewhere, back into the jungle. Shadow Fiend is alone. This could be a big pickup if they can find it, and they will. Freeze is going to walk up. They have the arrow available. The Thunder Strike's available. They've got the lasso. He's in trouble. The Starstorm, the raindrop will not save him. A big kill for TNC. Now down for 28, they might want to look to fight any more. Fade's coming, so is Yang. They have the Ravage, and with the threat of that, they need to run. Kuku's going to get snowballed on. He's in trouble. He should fall. He'll try for the TP, but it won't be in time as Siler gets there and finds a mega kill spree. But they're looking for DDC for Sam H. He's out of mana. He needs to be careful. They still have Siler running in. They have the Shrine, but where are the TPs?
Nice
they have
shards.
the nice ice shards. He'll try for the TP, but he can't get out in time. It's a double kill for Silar. This Weaver is absolutely destroying the beginning of this game, Brax.
Yes, and when you look at the heroes he's up against, it looks like he's going to keep owning, right? Like, doesn't even have Diffusal Blade yet. What happens when that comes out? These heroes are going to die in like 3 or 4 hits.
They're already getting shredded.
Yes, they are.
I mean, there's the medallion up for the Tidehunter. Raven did not TP. He's able to get some more farm in the meantime. They do get freeze for TNC, but VGJ.Thunder are off to a fast start, a 1K advantage. We are waiting for those big items, though. The Blink Dagger for Sam H is getting close, but it's not quite there. 1,400 gold on the Batrider.
Yep, that's going to be the next big thing that helps TNC with some of these engagements, right? Being able to blink in and jump the right targets. Like we even saw with the Smoke Ink up to freeze the Shadow Fiend, it's still the Lightning or the Thunder Strike, and then watch him walk around a bit until you can land the Glimpse. You know what I mean? It's not as simple as just a stun.
Guys, hold on. We got to get the glimpse off, let him walk for a bit, and then we'll get off the lasso, hopefully.
Yep, whipping out the protractor. Right, he's going to go here with the glimpse.
It's definitely awkward when that happens, but they were still able to find the kill, and even the raindrop's not able to keep him alive. But a lot of rotations coming in. TNC deep into the enemy jungle, just trying to get some vision down, but conversely, VGJ.Thunder are doing the exact same thing, and they might even fight a big target. Raven is Moonlight Shadowed, though, and they don't have detection, it looks like. They have a sentry on DDC. He decides not to place it. Armel has double damage. They're looking for freeze. Good save with the snowball in the mid lane. Now Tim's the burrow strike down for 6 seconds. The glimpse back in. Siler's coming in. He's already dropped Armel. 1 down. Spell is stolen. That's going to be the Astral and Ravens on the run, and he looks to be dead as well. They'll fight around the shrine, but it's not up, and there's nobody rotating in. It's going to be 2 kills for VGJ.Thunder unless Raven can do something miraculous here. But he's getting chased down. The Gush comes in. The raise from the Shadow Fiend will finish him off with the Anchor Smash from Yang doing the job.
There's just no hope of fighting this 5-man lineup before these Blink Daggers, you know, stuff like that come out. Even with Blink Daggers, I'm not convinced they're going to be able to take a fight if they're just next to the Tidehunter. Who can you actually jump reliably? Weaver kills everybody super quickly. He's extremely farmed at this point in the game. And it's just not a lineup that you want to 5-man into. TNC need to be able to split some of these heroes up on VGJ.Thunder. And they kind of want this chaotic game where they're not fighting 5-on-5. You know, they want these small, scrappy skirmishes.
But that's not really happening for TNC at this point.
No, not at all.
It would have been okay, I think, if TNC just lose one of their cores, but they lose both of their big cores.
Yep.
I mean, Sam H still isn't up to that Blink target either, so...
And that's with them scouting it out with the Moonlight Shadow, too.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
They were trying to go for something in the mid lane. That didn't happen, and so Armel gets dropped first, then they have the follow-up. Raven gets a little too aggressive. And so this 3K lead feels bigger than 3K for VGJ.Thunder.
Oh, yeah, it does indeed. I'm very worried for their current pacing at the moment because look at their cores. OD, Mirana, Batrider, while they do scale well and everything, it's all magic damage, and you run into major issues when that happens.
Map control-wise, VGJ.Thunder trying to get more of it by taking maybe the Tier 1 tower. It's already pretty low, so the split push will come from TNC to try to trade as they're going for their Tier 1 in the top lane. I mean, at this point in the game for TNC last time around, 14.5 minutes into the game or 15 minutes into the game, they had a 4-step, they had 2 blinks available. That's just not there for them this time around.
Yep, completely different game.
So the Tier 1s will be traded for. Radiant Glyph goes, Raven gets the tower in the top lane. Siler has finished at this full diffusal. He's got the Blightstone, he's got an Aquila, and the Lincoln Sphere is next on the list. And then when he gets that, how do you kill the hero?
Yep, Freeze closing in on his BKB too, and Siler working towards Lincoln Sphere. Ooh, it's rough for TNC.
I mean, what can you do here at this point for TNC? Continue to split it up?
You definitely want to continue to split it up and play around the Tidehunter Ravage cooldown. In the last fight, the Ravage was used on one hero. It was a core hero though, but that's all they need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to save it for some big 5-man or 4-man Ravage. He can afford to just use it on one hero, get the nice clean kill.
He's got to back up in 5 seconds. They'll try to find something with it. Raven would be the perfect target. Tim's is here to try to help him. The 3-man burrow strike is there, but Raven just has to run. That might keep him alive. Tim's thinking about helping Raven out. He has the 4-step. He's already used it. The ice shards came in and that missed. The snowball will, however, get close enough to get the telekinesis off. The double raise and a couple of auto attacks. The triple raise from Freeze, and that is another big pickup for VGJ.Thunder now with 4K lead.
Yep, closing on the BKB makes things even worse. Okay, so, excuse me. I was just going to say that while they need to split VGJ.Thunder's lineup up, they don't really have any way to make them respond to these towers very quickly, right? It's an OD. Sure, he has Ring of Aquila, which helps with that split push a bit more, but there's no big immediate threat to the towers. They can afford to let these things take some damage. They don't have to respond immediately. They can take their time, and that allows VGJ.Thunder to really pick and choose these engagements that they want to take. They don't necessarily have to split up a whole bunch like TNC's lineup would hope that they do.
I mean, VGJ.Thunder, they can essentially just keep getting what TNC give them at this point. They don't have to worry about the tower pressure, and they'll just get closer and closer to these items. They can even fight again. They didn't even use Ravage in that last fight. They almost have they have a Hood of Defiance up. They're working on the Solar Crest now for Yang, and then I'll get the pipe afterwards, I would assume.
It almost feels like they don't even need Ravage to fight.
Yeah.
Which is pretty darn crazy.
I mean, Raven gets chased down, and like he even uses his Force Staff, but they have such good catch. You have the Snowball into the Telekinesis. That's all they really needed to get that kill. And of course the burst damage from the Shadow Fiend.
Yep, luckily for TNC, Tim is really close to his Blink Dagger, about 50 gold away. That'll help them take some of these team fights even better. We haven't seen that Blink Sand King stun into like a big Disruptor ultimate yet. They just didn't have the Blink Dagger, so very difficult to make that play.
Yeah, they haven't even used the Sam H Blink, I think. He's had it for like 3 minutes.
They're just scared of being able to, they don't want to take a big scale engagement. They want these smaller fights. But it's really hard for them to find them.
It feels pretty awful when you've had your Blink Dagger for like a good 2 or 3 minutes, you haven't been able to find anything with it.
Right, that's go time.
And they're trying to find something, but VGJ.Thunder are playing so close together that even if they go on one of these heroes, Yang may be able to get the Ravage off in time. The Static Storm is going to have to be perfect. They've got the Firefly, they've got the Ravage, or the Lasso, excuse me, that's on the Yang. The Static Storm coming in, they might be able to get the skill, and then maybe can find more, but he's so tanky at this point. Not dead yet, about to fall, finally will. Big kill for TNC, Sylar running through with Shikuchi. The Glimpse back comes in. He actually is going to get burrowed up. This could be a big kill. The Sandy dropped down. The time lapse in time. He stays alive. The kinetic field is there, but I don't know if they can get this kill. They need another Burrow Strike available. They've got the Thunder Strike. They've got the Blanket from Sam H. Another Burrow is ready for Tim's. Can he get it off in time? He cannot. The TP reaction. Sylar just able to survive with a sliver of HP with that time lapse coming in at the perfect moment. Arrow does hit onto Shadow Fiend, though. They might go on this good snowball save, though, from Fade. Trying to turn this back around, and Sylar is in. They don't have the Sanities, and boy, they blow up Raven quickly. Big kill. They'll even get a spell steal. Thunder Strike. Cuckoo's on the run. The kinetic field, but Freeze pops his BKB. He wants his kill to raise. One more auto attack from Sylar. We'll get it. It's a monster kill spree now for Sylar. It's going to be 2 dead for TNC. It looked so good for a moment there, Brax, but they do not get that kill on the Weaver.
Well, that's Roshan with the medallion. They have the Gush negative armor and the bugs, too. It's crazy. Dota is a game of inches. Why? It comes down to being able to kill that Weaver in the team fight. They needed a tiny bit more damage, unable to kill him after the time lapse.
I mean, it was like 50 damage.
That was literally it. That's all they needed to win that fight.
They get that kill, they can maybe pressure that into a tier 1 tower on the bottom lane, or try to take Roshan on themselves. Epicenter getting channeled. Tim's is coming in. They're looking for Sylar, trying to find this kill. Time up back in. It's getting low. The Fable comes out, and Sylar will get the Aegis. Tim's tries to go for the steal, but he does not survive long enough to be able to get the Aegis back on his team. So VGJ.Thunder, they'll find the kill, and they will find Roshan along with the Aegis.
Yep, trying to make that big play. Unfortunately, does not work out for him there. And VGJ.Thunder, extremely dominant in this game.
And TNC are now put on the back foot, down 6K. They can try to split push. They can try to get these items out. And they do have the Agnums for Armel, but that's his first big item, whereas Sylar has 2. They have so much farm on VGJ.Thunder. All they need to do is play the smart and get some extra map control and go from there. They have the pipe coming in soon. They have the Ravage back up for the Tidehunter. If they want to try to find something, they can. They even go for the Blink Dagger on Yang instead of finishing off that Pipe of Insight.
Okay. Looks good. It'll help in position so we can land the key Ravages. You know, I thought perhaps that TNC had another chance at the end of the fight to perhaps turn it once the snowball came in.
Oh, Armel, he's going to get the stick off. And Light Shadow will go. He uses 2 leaps to get away to safety. Okay.
He's out of there.
Yeah, he's good.
But yeah, the snowball, when you save a teammate, of course, when you come out, you're right next to him, so it sets up like a Sand King stun, right? A 2-man Burrow Strike, for example. But with the BKB, there's no real hope of being able to turn that, so...
I mean, the Blink is up for the Tusk at this point. The Blink saves are going to be huge, the Blink snowballs. And they already have been for Fade.
They have so many more tools to work with this game compared to the last one.
So the first game might have been experimental, but this game, they're right in their comfort zone. They're finding their kills. They're getting a lot of gold across the map.
Yep, they see Freeze down bottom.
He has the BKB available. Unless they hit something like an arrow.
He's also positioning very well.
Yeah, he's just gone. Sam H was looking for him with the Firefly. A Blink Dagger couldn't quite find him. So Freeze heads mid. And they'll just split up the map again for VGJ.Thunder.
Yep, very nice play, not dying there. It would be so bad for him to die there, but of course Freeze, he's been on the rise for a while. We saw him first come out. He looked pretty good. Not incredible, but I would say now he's looked much, much better.
Yeah, he's really crushing it this game. Dragonlance, BKB, 1900 gold for the Shadow Fiend. They'll work on the tier 2 tower on the top lane. Sylar has his full Lincoln Sphere done. He has his full Diffusal done. He has the Aegis. He is extraordinarily farmed as well. And really the only thing TNC can do at this point is try to split up. They do get the tier 1 tower, and they'll continue to pressure in this bottom lane for Armel and try to take the tier 2, at least get some damage onto it. But now the tier 2 has been taken by VGJ.Thunder, and they're going to try to pressure and force TP rotations from TNC, and they will already TP back Armel.
Yep, so how are TNC meant to fight this? VGJ.Thunder used the glyph to help tank up the wave as well as defend the bottom tower just a bit longer. But who do they jump? Look, there's a Tidehunter standing next to my 2 cores. What exactly is going to happen here?
I mean, they could try to go for that lasso into Static Storm play they made the first time around.
Yeah, but that's a lot of commitment, right? That's 2 ultimates to lock down a Tidehunter rather than the Weaver or Shadow Fiend potentially. Weaver you probably want to ignore a bit longer since he has Lincoln Sphere.
And the Aegis.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think you can really focus down Sylar unless he makes a critical error or misposition. I don't really think they can kill him at this point. And Sylar has had a heck of a game. He is super farmed. At VGJ.Thunder, they're going down the checklist. Brax at this point, it is checklist Dota.
That's right.
Dire team.
Their towers, that's free money. That's a play a lot of teams make nowadays. They see the enemy team split pushing. Oh, we're going to approach your high ground. We know that you can't really jump us, but it's not the most efficient play for us to take this tower because we're going to take too much damage. So they push up, deal some damage, force the other team to rotate back, and then they go for these other towers. And that way they make sure that they're not out farming the map while they, sit here with a bunch of heroes waiting for creep waves and everything. So it's nice to see.
Just taking their time, getting all the objectives done. TNC will try to split. There's only tier 2, so if VGJ.Thunder want to go for a high ground push, they can. They're going to do just that with Sylar up into the high ground. I'm looking for the tier 3 tower. The Flame Break will come in. The arrow will hit. They've got the lasso. That's under the Shadow Fiend. Again, he has the BKB, but it's a lot of damage. The Burrow Strike, he's dead. Down for 58. Sylar, I think, was forced to time lapse. In fact, he did. Looking for a glimpse. They need more vision, but Armel can't find it. They've got the glimpse back onto DDC. They will get it, and DDC will fall. The arrow comes in again, and Armel will get another kill.
They're
Tims is looking for more. They've got the snowball coming in. They're trying to find Fade, but he blinks out in time. Tims blinks actually too aggressively, and Fade looking for a TP. They need a Burrow. They need an arrow. They need something. They can't find it. The Axel wasn't there in time either. But it is still 2 kills for TNC, and now they can finally push out and keep their base alive.
That's a bit of a mistake there to show up on the higher ground with the Shadow Fiend. I guess they weren't expecting them to be in base so quickly, right? Because they were split pushing on the outsides of the map.
Oh, what an
nice
arrow from Armel. I don't know if it's going to be enough damage. The Shikuchi's there. They've got the glimpse back to kinetic field as well. He's got no time lapse for 6 seconds. This will be the Aegis, the Firefly coming in, but Cuckoo's getting burned down as well. He needs to leave. He's going to try to get forced away, but he will fall to the Gush and to the Anchor Smash. So yes, they get the Aegis, but that's not the kill that they were looking for. TNC needed to back up together as a team and get out of the situation.
They thought they could get more.
Perhaps a little greedy.
Well, that's the kind of play you have to make in this sort of a game, right? Otherwise, VGJ.Thunder are just going to roll down these lanes and hit your buildings.
I mean, the initial play to get the Shadow Fiend and DDC is pretty big.
It was fantastic. It's exactly what they need to come back.
I mean, I guess it slows the game down a little bit for TNC, right?
Yes, it does for sure. Being able to take that away makes it so that VGJ.Thunder can't reliably siege because they do have ways to break the Lincolns really quickly. You can glimpse from Fog, so that you pop the Lincolns instantly into a lasso combo, and Sylar would probably die to that.
VGJ.Thunder, though, they still have a 7K lead. I think they just picked up a gem, and they put it on Fade on the Tusk, so now map control is going to be even better for VGJ.Thunder.
Yep, if they can clear out some of these wards, take away the map from TNC, but it's TNC who are 5-man smoking.
It could be a big fight for either team, really. Cuckoo's got the Static Storm at the ready. He's going to find Yang, not the target you really want to find, the Tidehunter, but they're going to go for him anyways. There's the Lasso coming in, the Static Storm right on top of the kinetic field. Freeze thinking about going back in. They can't do it
channeling the Epi.
They're looking for more. There's the Epicenter. They get the PKB off in time. Freeze is channeling the Requiem. He will get it off, and Tims is just dead. The Raze is on top of it. It's a 1-for-1 trade. They might find DDC, though. The Arcane Orb, the damage coming in from Armel, doing too much work. Sylar is not in the fight either. They actually get the arrow as well. The TP was canceled because he knew he was going to die one way or the other. It's a double kill for Raven. It's 3 dead for VGJ.Thunder. Yes, they lose Tims, but I don't think they're really that concerned about it, Brax.
TNC making the bold play spot. They're not afraid at all. Moving out like that. You know, once you see it, the Tidehunter, you kind of think, uh-oh, we need to commit everything to kill this guy immediately so he doesn't get the Ravage off, right? And honestly, just really good play.
They're doing a lot of damage, even through the pipe that he now has. The Hooded Defiance hasn't really helped him survive against the Static Storm so far.
Yep, that's the OD damage, right?
Yeah, the pure. The Arcane Orb pretty significant. He still has his sanities. He's starting to get his own farm. They're only like 5K down now at this point of the game. 26.5 minutes in. It is still significant, and VGJ.Thunder still have control. They've taken all of the tier 2, or excuse me, 2 of the tier 2 towers, and they've got map control, and they still have the gem available. No, did they get the gem back, actually? I think they got the gem.
Oh, goodness. Is Sylar actually going to die?
No, the time lapse gets there in time. They have to, or the burst strike coming in, but it wasn't enough damage to bring down Sylar. He is able to get away, but
He's a tanky bug.
I think, yeah, they picked up the gem in that fight. I forgot to mention it, but that gem is gone. They literally just bought it.
That's ridiculous. That's number 2 on the list of the worst things to happen to you in Dota. Number 1's dying with your TP on cooldown.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. You're just like, well, I guess I'll waddle back to lane now.
Yep.
How exciting. I think dying with a rapier might be worse than that, though.
Okay, but that one doesn't happen too often.
No, that's true.
We see numbers 1 and 2 a bit more.
They're going to try to find this kill, but the blink out
Fast
immediately
blink.
from Tim's, and he just quick fingers. Tim's making plays.
So TNC have stopped the bleeding. You know, this, oh no, it's actually, they were unaware. The gem's in the trees down bottom.
Oh, they didn't actually get the gem. That's huge.
That's a big deal.
VGJ.Thunder getting that back. I couldn't find it, but yeah, I was wondering because I didn't see it in the Radiant base, but that makes sense.
Moonlight Shadow. TNC moving out.
Take a look at that last fight. Yeah, they use a lot for Yang. And VGJ.Thunder are too far to like try to
They
counter
see
initiate.
these 3 heroes in the back, though. Tim's channels the AP stuns. We saw that team fight.
Moonlight Shadow coming in there looking for Sylar, but the lift comes in immediately from DDC. There's the glimpse back, though, and that should be the DDC Rubik falling here. He'll try to Astral save himself for now. They've already found another Burrow Strike on the Fade. They might be able to get both of these kills. It's going to be close. They will get the one. The Walrus Punch comes in. They're going to try to commit to a fight. The Blake Ravage is down to Raven. He's in trouble. They've got the BKB. Samage getting low. It's 2 dead for TNC. VGJ.Thunder. They turn it right back around. Big kills, although Cuckoo will get away, so they don't get 3. Nice initiation with the Ravage,
Look
but
at
then it's
that.
down for 136 seconds.
Double damage picked up. Roshan's not up, though.
Minute and 40. Good news for TNC. Losing that Roche Aegis and Cheese would have been a real issue, but instead they can fight with Ravage now being down again on VGJ.Thunder. Tim's? I think Tim's might be dead if he's not careful.
Gonna make some split push action going on here.
They
Stall out
scan,
the game.
so they know that he's up here, and now they're going to see him. He's going to Sandstorm. Sylar's going to come through. Tim's can try to blink out if he needs to.
He's fine.
Ice Shards. Yeah, he's good to go. Swarm a little bit too late to the party. Now he's got a 4-staff. But the 2 kills going for VGJ.Thunder.
There we go.
They find DDC. They almost get Fade, but the blink Ravage was there from Yang.
Yep, they're able to stall long enough for the reinforcements to come in from VGJ.Thunder, and that's probably the first Blink Ravage we've seen in this game.
Yeah, I think so.
Look at what happens when the abilities are casted.
It's like the first 2-man Ravage we've seen this game.
Yep. And that's all the setup, right? You bait these heroes, TNC see these people, and they dive deeper into the jungle, and it just sets it all up.
So now Ravage is down for another 75 seconds. Do you want to fight as TNC? Is this
Oh,
the go
yeah.
time? I mean, you're right. Roche is up in 37 seconds. They pretty much need to make something happen, and I think VGJ.Thunder know this.
Yep, they walk right past the Observer wards, so
Yeah.
VGJ.Thunder know exactly what's going on. But yeah, the Ravage timing is big, right? Look at the difference. If there's no Ravage in that team fight, then TNC can actually continue to fight. OD died from full HP off of that.
Yeah, Raven does have his BKB now, though, and Armel also has one.
Yep.
There is an Orchid for Sylar, so he's going to be able to kill these supports even quicker. He's already destroying them rather quickly, but the extra Orchid will help out. But again, the BKBs from TNC will keep them alive for the most part. Although they have found Armel. Looks like he's going to try to leap away. The snowball is there. Armel trying to get out. He's going to find an invis room, but there is a sentry nearby. Roshan has respawned. I think VGJ.Thunder could take it extraordinarily fast. TNC,
Oh, they would
not
take it
so much.
so fast.
TNC a little bit slow. They can't really sneak it.
Yep.
Walrus
Oh.
Punch comes in. They're going to find Armel. He's in trouble. He had no more leaps available. Dead for 73 and no buyback. This is perfect time for VGJ.Thunder. They will head into the Roche pit and get Aegis and Cheese.
Another free Roche.
They were able to hold on the first time around. I'm not sure they're going to be able to do it the second time around for TNC.
Yep, it gets a bit harder with number 2, especially with the cheese. It just hits that timing where you have more items to kill these buildings a bit quicker.
This thing is dead. It dies so fast with Freeze, Sylar, and Yang. They do so much damage to the armor reduction. It is done. They will grab the Aegis. They will grab the Cheese. With the gem as well picked up for Fade.
Yep, so we saw last time when VGJ.Thunder win high ground, TNC were able to make a play. Right, high ground is not an easy task for VGJ.Thunder at all, especially up against the Bat Rider. And there's a whole bunch of stuns that can come out from Fog, like a Blink Sand King stun, so you won't be able to get your BKB off in time. Then Blink Hurricane Pike OD can always just chip away at you too.
The issue previously was that they showed the Shadow Fiend on the high ground. He got Blink lassoed back.
Yep.
And they didn't have the Tidehunter in position to go for a counter initiation. now that's, I think as long as you keep the Shadow Fiend safe before it gets this Lincoln Sphere, you can just continue to see Sylar.
Yeah, I imagine all you have to do is sit behind Weaver, right? This hero is much more difficult to go on, but you know, SF does have Aegis, he can do it as well. Doesn't really matter who it is, it's just the Aegis carrier.
Yeah. We'll try to finish off the last tier 2 tower in the game. VGJ.Thunder up 10K now. TNC, they've held on, but this is looking a lot like the first game, but from opposite sides of the spectrum.
Interesting stuff. Freeze has a normal fire in his quick buy. I wonder if he'll actually go through with that. It's pretty difficult to get off on heroes without blink daggers reliably before things like BKB comes out.
Yeah.
Also not the greatest stats in the world for a hero like Shadow Fiend who would like to tank up a bit more.
He doesn't really need the extra damage, and the armor's not really going to help him that much.
Yep.
He's already an agility hero. He has like 23 armor at this point.
Any Lotus Orbs coming out for TNC?
The Sand
not
King
quite.
would be my assumption, but he's not going to be having enough money for it. He just got his 4-staff not too long ago. He's up to 1,300 gold, actually, but
They're a little poor at the moment.
if there's a hero to get the Lotus Orb, it's probably the Sand King in this game, though.
Yeah, I would agree. Especially up against the Orchid that Sylar has picked up as well.
They'll find the tier 2 tower in the top lane. It's the creeps that'll do it, actually, which is going to give some extra money for TNC. They're in the trees. The smoke is looking for anything from VGJ.Thunder. They're about to find maybe OD. Yang is also nearby. Smoke will break next to Tim's. They're pinging him out. They know that he's over here. The scan will connect as well. And Tim's, they just miss him with the blink. He's going to force-stab himself away. Ravage is available, but they don't have any vision. They can't get through the trees. So it's a lot of time wasted, actually, for TNC.
Yeah, very nice for them. That's more time being bought.
Yeah, more room to work for Raven. And, of course, Armel, who was farming all the meanwhile in that bottom lane. And he's working on this butterfly. He's getting closer, but he's still a ways away at this point.
The nice thing about the Mirana Axe build is that you clear creep waves pretty much instantly. You blink in, Starstorm, leap out. Helps you keep up the map pressure.
Every single one of these comebacks with the Gyrocopter Rapier, it's been keep the waves pushed out as best as possible.
That's right.
Force them around the map, make them waste their Aegis timing.
Play that cat and mouse game the entire time.
And if VGJ.Thunder, they cannot commit to a lane yet. Even with his double damage now on Sylar, I'm not sure. I mean, the waves are all pushed out past third except for mid lane, which is going to be done in just a moment by the Sand King.
Right, it's not easy. They've seen what high ground looks like, Mott. They need to make sure that everything goes in their favor, or else TNC could come right back into this game.
VGJ.Thunder have smoked up again, though, and if they can find anything with this, that will maybe lead into the tier 3 tower and maybe even racks.
Yep, that observer ward up top scouted out some movements, so they are heading right for Armel. Or sorry, Raven on his OD.
He has the BKB, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to get it off in time. They're going to go for the lift. They've got the auto attack coming in. He's in trouble. The fade ball, he gets bursted down. They even seal the Astral with that Rubik. Big kill for VGJ.Thunder, dead for 70 seconds. Now, finally, they might be able to get something done on the map. Nice arrow.
Yep.
Gotcha. And the Nullifier is done as well.
Very interesting.
So now, getting those BKBs off, it's already difficult, as we've just seen.
Yep.
It's going to be even harder. And it seems to be time to go for VGJ.Thunder. At least in the mid lane, they're pushing this down. They see Tim's as top. They can maybe get this kill. The Blink Walrus Punch is there with the Snowball. There's the Nullifier. The auto attack damage. My God. He got deleted.
Where'd he go?
He's in the grave, let me tell you.
I'll be back in 45 seconds, so we won't miss him too much.
We'll cut the wave top. TNC used the Moonlight Shadow for this. They're setting up for a fight. Yang will walk up to the high ground. Cuckoo's literally on top of him. There's the Static Storm. They've got the lasso. They've got the arrow. They've got the Starstorm. They're getting lower and lower. The Burrow Strike coming in.
dead.
They find the kill on Sylar. And Yang's in trouble. He's got the Ravage. He's got the cheese. They should have a glimpse back. I believe they will use it, but he might turn this around. He pops the cheese. They've got Savage on the other side with the Nullifier, so it's going to be him dead for Sylar, down for 80 seconds. But they do get the arrow onto Yang, doing some damage. It won't be enough, so now Aegis and Cheese are down. TNC, they've held again.
That was such a nice play. They were up on the high ground with the Moonlight Shadow. VGJ.Thunder did not. Oh, glimpse.
The Ravage is still available. They miss out the Burrow Strike. I think they had the Astral Save timing from DDC was there. I mean, they're trying to find anything. They're just running outside their base looking for whatever they can get, but okay.
They definitely were hoping to push that into more, right? Especially with the kill on Sylar's Weaver. He does a ton of damage. That was so nice, though. The setup with the Moonlight Shadow onto the high ground. VGJ.Thunder did not expect that, and it set up the perfect two-man Kinetic Field Static Storm combo.
They were
Look at
not
this.
expecting this. They didn't have the gem up there.
Yep, and then Tim's buys back immediately, too, for the two-man follow-up stun.
So Sylar, he has his BKB now. So,
You know, without OD's damage, Yang is so tanky.
yeah, I'm not sure how you can kill him. He is pretty insane. He had the cheese to work with. But Again, though, TNC, that's Aegis gone because it expired. That's Cheese now down.
Yeah?
I don't believe Ravage was used. Even if it was, it would be back up pretty soon.
It wasn't used. But yeah, you're right. It's more breathing room.
They're still down 13K in VGJ.Thunder. They just want this tier 3 tower. That's all they want. They've got the Static Storm. They've got Sylar again. They've got the Burrow Strike. They've got the arrow. Along with the lockdown is more than enough to get that kill. He's dead for 80. He even had his BKB, but he couldn't get it off in time.
Wow. That is truly unfortunate and unexpected. You don't expect the team to just sit there and 5-man camp a shrine.
The chain lockdown, making it so you can't even get the BKB off. But yeah, they were sitting up there for a while.
Oh, man. Which is some of the things that happens when the game starts to get a bit hectic in the mid-game, right? When you don't really know what's going to happen. Anything can go on. Some big items being picked up pretty soon. Armel closing in on the Lincoln Sphere. What else do we have? OD working on 1-2. Lincoln Sphere being worked on Tim's. Or sorry, Lotus Orb.
Yeah, and this, with the Lincoln Sphere plus the Lotus Orb's Nullifier won't be as big of an issue.
Yep, that'll help deal with that quite a bit. And Tidehunter really close to Refresher, actually.
Double Ravage. We've seen 1 or 2 Ravages this game, a couple 1-2 heroes, but we haven't actually seen any big Ravages from Yang, but double Ravage could be huge in this game.
Yeah, it looks like one
they're struggling
Ravage
to finish this off, so.
Yep.
Oh, lasso. They found the target. That's DVC. The arrow misses. The Burrow Strike is there. This is going to be a support kill, but he is dead for 55 seconds, so this can lead into the tier 2 tower. They're getting back more map control for TNC. The wave is pushing into the mid lane. That tier 2 is also getting rather low. 9K gold now. It was once 13K for VGJ.Thunder, and it's just gone at this point.
TNC are so good at pushing their advantages, right? They found that kill on Sylar. He was only, like 10 seconds from being up, but they played extremely aggressive, positioning in all these places that allowed them to find these deep pickoffs.
Still, you're fighting against a Weaver and a Shadow Fiend, right? VGJ.Thunder have really good late game. I mean, you have OD, which is fine. You have Armel, who went the Aghanims build, so he's not really auto-attacking for much damage.
OD's a weird hero. He's really strong before BKBs, but then once they pick him up, he doesn't do very much. He relies on kiting these fights. Oh.
They're going for him again. They're going to try to find this kill in the bottom lane. That will be on to Sylar, but he gets BKB off in time, and now Sandking's the one getting queued up. The Moonlight Shadow comes out, and so that BKB timing, that is in fact a 10-second BKB timing, but Epicenter now down on the other side for TNC.
Well, BKB forced. It's a small win for TNC.
Right.
Yeah, OD, when they have 10-second BKBs, not strong. When they're down to 5, it becomes really easy for him to kite in and out, especially with the Blink Dagger, the Hurricane Pike, and the Astral. That's going to become really strong again.
And that is still, like you said, the 10-second BKB charge, so he still has plenty of the time left for Sylar, which makes it a lot harder for them to get these kills. They need to get the chain lockdown that we've seen previously.
Right.
But you have a Lincoln Sphere, so it's hard to do that to begin with.
Yep. I mean, that was just entirely the bait, right? They didn't have any damage dealers that are with them. That's exactly what they were hoping to accomplish.
VGJ.Thunder have played as 5 a lot in this game. They're moving around together.
Yeah. And that's when they're strongest, when they're together.
Armel, Lincoln Sphere broken. They've got the lift. This is a big kill. The Nullifier comes in the Ravage. They really want this, and they will find it. Dead for 85 seconds. The Mirana is now down. The door is open for VGJ.Thunder to get to the base, to get to the tier 3s finally. Or even Roche, which is up, and this is Aegis Cheese Refresher Shard now, Brax.
Oh, man. Tidehunter with the Refresher Shard, then Refresher Orb coming up extremely soon, but they actually don't know. Wow, that could have been so bad.
And TNC are just cutting the waves. They're split pushing bottom. VGJ.Thunder are just moving together as a team. Raven gets the BKB off. He's going to go for the TP. They have the Walrus Punch, though. That will cancel it. And Raven trying to force him to the high ground. He will fall, more than likely. They need one auto attack, and they will find it with Freeze. And he's dead for 76 seconds. You have to make these big plays if you're trying to get these waves pushed out and keep your base alive, or rather, make sure they don't take Aegis. But they should be able to get Roshan now. I mean, it's still up.
Raven probably thought they were in the pit.
I think that was a good assumption at that point. And they're still not in there. They haven't checked the pit once in the past,
they want high ground. 2 cores dead. It's go time.
Yeah, they might as well try to get up to the high ground and finish off this tier 3 tower, which is extremely low at this point. And Tibbs is trying to split push, but he's a Sand King, so what can he actually do? He has a big siege wave, though, coming in. Double siege, plenty of range creeps. He's actually doing a lot of damage, but Sylar on the other side will still get the tier 3 tower.
Yep, it's not even close.
They will glip this. This is just going to be full racks, I think, for VGJ.Thunder. There's nothing really Tibbs can do. He'll TP back. Maybe they can try to take a fight, but
You know, with 30 seconds still left on Raven's respawn timer, what happens if they just go to the Roche pit and they pressure TNC to contest this Roshan without
they
their
did
OD?
get the glimpse back, but Yang is fine, I think. He's going to blink away. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, TNC, they need to stall. They had the illusion in the pit. They know it's available.
But they did get the tier 3 tower, and now Freeze TP's back to the base.
Yep.
So Raven will be up, and they won't have taken Roche, or at least they shouldn't have had the opportunity to do so.
You know, I would say if TNC had a good Roshan taking lineup, then they could potentially just rush it since Freeze TP down to the bottom lane, and he's probably going to push out the next wave.
But the CNC Roche lineup is pretty miserable.
Yep, they are smoked up though, so looking for a play, trying to abuse the fact that Shadow Fiend will not be at the engagement. They actually scan on top of the Roshan pit.
They need these chain lockdowns in order to grab these kills.
Look at how VGJ have been playing the entire game though. They're just,
Together.
it is the buddy system.
They are all together, knowing that that's really the only way they lose a fight is they lose their heroes one by one. They will smoke up. They'll walk up. Cuckoo is going to be the first one spotted. The Thunderstrike, DDC, Blink Initiation. There's the lasso. They've got the Firefly coming in. Siler looking for more damage. Cuckoo is Glimmer. They have the BKB from Armel as well as Raven, but nobody's really dead yet. Yang getting a little bit low. They get the Nullifier onto Tims. He's down for 80 seconds, but DDC will fall. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. They'll force themselves and leap onto the high ground and now try to back up. Siler looking for any target. But a 1-for-1 that I think favors VGJ.Thunder. Not having Tims for 70 seconds, that's your big initiation for the most part gone for TNC, and that will lead into Roche for VGJ.Thunder.
Yep, and without their BKBs, they have absolutely no chance of being able to contest this. Maybe a steal, but even that looks pretty difficult, especially with the wards.
It just dies so quickly.
Yeah, it
There's
does.
nobody in position. They'll get an arrow over there just to scout things out. And it hits onto Freeze, but I don't think they really care.
This may be the beginning of the end.
TNC have smoked up, but this is Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher Shard they are fighting into without their Sand King. VGJ.Thunder trying to even the series up and get to this third game, and they are getting ever so close. They're up 19K net worth now, Brax, and all they need to do is just finish these last few racks off, get a couple of kills, and they can take this game.
Yeah, but TNC, they're still looking to make plays happen. They're always just waiting to, you know, to make a mistake, or sorry, to force a mistake out of VGJ.Thunder, right? What happens if you go back to split push and deal with your lanes? Well, then TNC's ready. But looks like it's not going to happen. VGJ.Thunder sticking to the plan, running it down mid lane together.
Just run down mid with Aegis and Cheese.
Refresher Orb and Refresher Shard up on Tidehunter.
Triple Ravage is quite frightening to deal with at this point in the game. They don't even have to be good Ravages. They just have to hit someone.
I mean, even Ravage on one hero, as long as it secures the kill, is perfectly fine.
If you're VGJ.Thunder, you can slow this down and take the shrines. Salar's running over to maybe find that. They've dropped a sentry. Salar has a BKB though, and he also has Cheese. They get off the lasso. I'm not sure they can get the skill of statics from them. They need the burrow start contains the Ravage counter initiation, and now that means Salar should be fine. He can BKB out of this. He will. He will time lapse as well. They've got the lift. DD, or rather Cuckoo is in trouble. The Glimmer Cape comes out. They have the sentry there. One more auto attack will bring him down. They're looking for the second target, which was Raven, who will blink onto the other side of the river to try to get out of trouble. He does have the TP scroll to get back to the base. Big pick off though, and they've used a lot of their abilities to try to force that fight for TNC, and VGJ.Thunder can take advantage of that.
Yep, no disruptor. You know, it looked like there could have potentially been an opening, but it's not the case, right? They were so close by. Siler is really tanky, difficult to take down, and I don't know. It's just they can't really deal with this level of tower push, right?
No,
even Tidehunter can just sit in the front lines, not afraid of anything.
They get the epicenter off. 3-man burrow strike. Siler's dead for 100 seconds. Freeze gets the BKB off. He'll buy back and get back into the fray. They'll get off Fade's Snowball, trying to get him in some more initiation. Now on the arrow coming in, he will just sidestep it narrowly. Yang sitting back. He has another 2 Ravages available, by the way. But Siler did buy back. They still have Lasso available for Sam H, and this will slow things down again. And Siler's just running bottom. Freeze, no BKB. He has the Aegis, he has the Nullifier, and a Hurricane Pike still, but they will back up for now.
That was an impressive defense from TNC. Tims blinks in, they pop the Lincoln Sphere on Siler, gets the 3-man burrow. He dies without getting the cheese off, and the buyback comes out. But now, VGJ.Thunder, they really want to force this with Weaver using the buyback. They're regrouped. It's go time.
Even if the Weaver dies here, it might not be the end of the world. They still have all of their heroes available.
Yang refreshed and Fog.
Yeah, he's
So
ready for
perhaps
another
if they-
Ravage.
Yep, maybe they won't
There's
be ready
another
for
lasso
this.
coming in. They found the Tidehunter. They've got the statics from the arrow coming in, but Sam H getting chewed up. The Nullifier and Siler's damage is too much. They get the Ravage off. It only hits on Armel, but that will be enough to refresh again. There's another Ravage coming in. A double kill. Moran is forced to buy back. They will get the mid-melee racks, and they will back up together. The Burrow Strike comes in from Tims, but where's the fall? Raven's finally there. The Starstorm's coming in. Armel's looking for anything. Siler still alive. Shikuchin up. They stole Moonlight Shadow, by the way. They will take the full set of racks in VGJ.Thunder. They're fighting 5 versus 4. Tims might be another kill. the force forward freeze, pops the BKB, the burst strike misses. Raven's on the backlash trying to do anything that he can, but right now it's not much. Fade gets off the snowball, they buy back attempts, the spell steals the Astral, they can set up more if they want to. The glimpse backs in, that'll be onto Fade, looking for more damage. They've got the nullifier, and this disruptor is dead. Down for 70, they're looking to find Armel, who leaps away. He's got his BKB still, and it's 2 dead, and this could be another tier 3 and potentially another set of Brax. They're fighting 5 versus 3. This might be it, Brax. VGJ.Thunder on the verge of getting this game to game 3.
We're seeing these Ravages come out just for one hero at a time, but it's actually all they need.
Epicenter coming in, they found Raven, they've got the telekinesis, still a lot of heroes getting low. The Astral Save coming in, Rubik's about to die, they're forcing the buyback on the Raven as his dead body's in the air. The Rax is now falling, they just need one more building to get the Megas, and they're so close. Yang still a little bit low, the Astral coming in, the Lotus Sword makes it so the Astral comes in onto Raven on that Outworld Devourer, and that is Megas. They might find Yang out of this, but I don't think they're really that concerned. They're looking for more damage, looking for the lasso. He's found Sadler. The BKB gets off in time, though, and another Liquid Sphere is there, and he's just going to scuttle on away. He's so fast with that level 25 Shikuchi movement speed. He's out of there, and they now have a 30k lead on VGJ.Thunder. They have Mega Creeps, and the Tier 4s are already gone at this point, Brax.
Oh man, we've seen this lineup from TNC hit that damage wall where there are so many BKBs coming out, right? Even once both teams use their BKBs, right, and OD's wailing on somebody, they actually can't kill Tide at all. Very smart buy from Yang, going for the Ghost Scepter. Makes him essentially immune to this lineup. There's no way they can burst Yang's Tidehunter down before he gets that off.
They could do it in the beginning of the game, they just don't have the damage now.
Yep.
Just feels impossible for them to do any damage for TNC. They forced out, I think, pretty much all of the buybacks. I believe there's 2 left. It's Sandbeach on the Batrider. He doesn't have his, he's not enough money, and the Disruptor will probably never have enough money for a buyback. He's 1,200 gold away. So the major heroes, if they can kill Raven or Armel one more time, VGJ.Thunder just win the game. They can win the game outright by just sitting back and just letting the waves push in and kind of playing passively. At some point, they will have to try to push the base, but they don't really need to.
Right, these heroes don't deal very well with pushing out Mega Creeps, not like the Gyrocopter or the Medusa that we're used to seeing. It's a rough one.
Yeah, I mean, this 30k network lead we talk about, the numbers not being indicator of being able to come back, it seems like this
That's a big number.
Yeah, for sure. 30k is almost insurmountable in this game. It's like 99.9% insurmountable, I would say, given the circumstances for TNC.
Statsman Mark.
But they will be holding on. They'll do anything they can. Just need 1 or 2 pickoffs, get things going back in their way. VGJ.Thunder moving together. If they can find one of these big cores,
just
the
a matter
game
of time,
ends.
All right, once VGJ group up, run down a lane, have their abilities off cooldown, like Ravage. Double Ravage is up in 5 seconds. All they have to do is sit there and wait for the creeps to pile up, and TNC probably can't actually defend.
Yeah, and now have an AC. They have everything they need to finish the game. The Starstorm is it's gonna be the ability that really clears up the waves. It's the only thing that can do the job for the most part for Armel.
They're looking to jump Armel?
They tried to find the target bottom, but they couldn't quite get Tims. He was able to blink away in time, and Sandwich also fireflied in the trees. But the rest of VGJ.Thunder are in. They could just start hitting the base if they want to. There's the Moonlight Shadow from TNC. The gem is up onto Fade, though, so they know this is here. They've seen Cuckoo. The Blink Ravage comes in. BKB gets off in time for Raven, but they've already finished the game off. That's it. GG is called, and VGJ.Thunder